Hello everyone, welcome back. Part 2 of our Permadeath Hardcore Survival Challenge series in the game No Man's Sky. So in our last episode, we crashed on an alien world, we survived a radioactive storm, and we started repairing a ship that we're going to use to get out into the galaxy. So, we found the hermetic seal here in this terminal. And now we're going to pick up where we left off. We're going to head back to that ship and continue our repairs. Now you'll recall we also need some stuff to repair our launch thrusters, so we're going to keep our eyes open for that as well. We need ferrite dust for that, so if we see any ferrite dust along the way, we're going to grab it. But first, we're going to grab this analysis visor that it's telling us to activate. We don't have one installed. We need nanotubes for that. So we don't have nanotubes. We do have some carbon, but it's not really in the right form. We need 50 carbon, regular carbon, not the condensed carbon that we found in that big red crystal, if you remember from last time. So most plants give us carbon. That's why I gathered that strange aloe plant looking thing. And now we're going to take that carbon nanotube and stick it in here. And apparently our visor was really only damaged. It said system not installed, but that's all it needed was a little carbon nanotube. Alright, let's activate that scanner. And now we can see the animals and the plants and things, and if we scan them, it'll give us information about them. So we scan this little animal here. It tells us that it produces eggs. That's good to know. It tells us some other things that are less useful, like it eats leaves. That's a little helpful. It tells us it's not going to try and eat us. This plant over here, if we scan that, instead of getting a bunch of question marks like we see on the left side right now, we're going to get a bunch of information about it. The most important stuff is primary and secondary element. It says it gives us carbon and gamma root. That's useful information to have. The second thing that any resource gives you will be hidden and not available until you've scanned it. Now this rock here has ferrite dust, but nothing else. This rock here will probably have ferrite dust and something else. No, just pure ferrite. Well, you'll have to take my word for it. Like that plant, eventually the minerals will have secondary resources in them as well. So we want to make sure that any of these minerals that we gather, that we've scanned it first. See, this one has ferrite dust and sodium. So we definitely want that. We're going to gather these rocks that have ferrite dust and sodium because the sodium is going to help us survive. But since we're right next to a building, we're not going to recharge our hazard protection with sodium. We're going to go inside the building and let that give us enough shelter so that our suit systems can recharge. If you remember from the last episode, the suit didn't recharge very fast in that burning ship, but it recharges much faster inside a building. So it's telling us to locate our starship. We've got that analysis visor active, which gives us that compass up at the top of our screen. You can see the little points of interest rotating around that. And it also allows us to lock in some of those compass points in our field of view. So we can see that our starship is 952 units away, as it should be. This place was 952 units away from our starship. But now we will have that there where we can see it the whole way. And we won't have to worry about getting lost. So we're going to gather a little bit more of this ferrite dust and sodium. And I'm going to skip ahead slightly and let you know that we're going to need some pure ferrite to repair those launch thrusters. So before we leave, I'm going to take this ferrite dust and make a metal plate and use that metal plate to make a portable refiner. We are going to need to be able to refine ferrite dust to get pure ferrite. So I'm just going to make that right now, and we'll gather more ferrite dust as we head back to our ship. There's a deuterium plant there. It's going to be really hard to get to. We need a deuterium plant's worth of jetpack thrust just to get up to it. think we're going to try and go up this hill the less direct way that will require less jetpacking to get up. A very steep hill. And I just saw something. Hey, look at that. Deuterium plants. Alright. Let's use those plants to get up this hill. Or one of them anyway, we can't take them with us. Grab that, sprint, body check, jump. That's a little trick for moving a little faster. It doesn't work very well when you're going up a slope, but since we had a jetpack boost, it was worth trying. I let myself get distracted by those red crystals. I probably should have kept using my jetpack thrust until it was completely spent, but eh. And since we can't sprint anymore, our sprint gauge is empty, we're going to mine this ferrite as we walk by it. That is a really big ferrite rock. It only gave us 20 ferrite dust. That's kind of lame. Well, we'll do it one more time because we need some more. And then we'll make sure we're sprinting again. Try and get where we're going quickly. We're not out of the woods yet when it comes to survival, so hey, there's some sodium. Just what we need. Just what we need as our systems start to get low. Let's fuel that mining laser just a little, and let's hold off on fueling the life support for the moment. Maybe we can find something to fuel it with other than oxygen. There are a couple of other things that will do that. We found, or we could find anyway, a fuel pack for it. But we're not finding any containers as we go. I wonder how much ferrite dust this has in it. As I think I failed to point out, that refiner that we made took some oxygen. So those are sodium nitrate crystals. Sodium nitrate is a condensed form of sodium. Anyway, these plants here have oxygen. I think we can stop being afraid. We're going to run out. Let's go ahead and charge our life support. We probably don't have anything else that we need to make, that we need oxygen to make right now anyway. Probably not a lot of need to conserve oxygen. And there we go. We're just going to do a little jetpack sprint. It was kind of a hard landing, but it didn't hit our shields, thank goodness. We've got another 200 units almost, 150 units really. Hey, we've been by here. We harvested that sweet root last time. I wonder how much iron this tiny little rock has in it. You know, we should scan it before it breaks. There might be something useful in there. Uranium. Uranium's useful. Uranium is also something we can use to fuel our launch thrusters, and in my humble opinion, especially when you're on a radioactive planet like this, it's a much more efficient way of fueling your launch thrusters. Alright, we're back. We have our hermetic seal. We've got a good amount of dihydrogen. So we're going to be able to repair this stuff. Hermetic seal, put that in. Pulse drive is now online. And for our launch thruster, we need 1 dihydrogen jelly and 50 pure ferrite. To make a dihydrogen jelly, we only need 40 dihydrogen. We have that. And we need 50 pure ferrite. Yes. Thank you for letting us know. So we're going to put our refiner out. We are going to refine our iron. We need to fuel our refiner. We only need 50 pure ferrite, so that's what we're going to refine for now. Excuse me. We'll give it to you live here, folks. Can't cut out clearing my throat, unfortunately. Alright, there's our pure ferrite. In fact, let's just pick up this whole thing. I don't see any reason to hang around any longer. Let's get these launch thrusters repaired and let's get out of here. Put in the dihydrogen, put in the pure ferrite, let some nanomachines work some magic, and we are out of here. Liftoff. Seek answers among the stars, it says. We are the person who has discovered this system. It doesn't say first contact. That's interesting. I have played other characters in this galaxy, so we may be somewhere that one of my other characters has been before. Otherwise it would have said first contact. Well, we've got some pretty nebulas. We've got this rather lovely blue sphere off in the distance. We've got rings. That's fun. Well, it says we should test out our flight systems. Let's go ahead and do that. It says left shift is our boost. So that makes us move a little faster. You can see those rocks moving by a little quicker, and you can see little streaks of light. And now we want to test our pulse engine. That'll make us move even faster. That looks kind of almost like light speed. Those rocks are just zipping by. And now someone's trying to communicate with us. Alright. Comms override 16161616. That's what the console says. Incoming transmission, source 4925B. So you'll notice that log that we accessed earlier was 4925A. That's interesting. Whoever left that log is now also trying to communicate with us. Maybe we're on the trail of somebody who has been in our situation before, as we supposed late in the last episode. Please identify yourself, it says. I'm... Well, I don't really know who I am, but I guess I'll find some way to identify myself. You are not alone. Follow the... That was cryptic. The broadcast ends as strangely as it began. The final piece of the signal appears to be a set of planetary coordinates. Alright, let's see where they go. Coordinates received. Look around. Wow, there's all kinds of planets in this system. They all look a little different too. Let's head over to this vaguely rose-colored orb. We're going to use our pulse drive, which is intended for interplanetary travel. It seems to be a near light speed sort of travel. And we're moving between planets in less than a minute, so that would seem accurate. It says that we can scan this planet while we're traveling, so why don't we do that? Let's see what kind of planet we're getting into. A verdant planet. That sounds better than a radioactive wasteland. And it'll also tell us the resources that are, at least the major resources that are available on that planet. We see star bulbs. That's next to a little kind of plant-looking icon. And then we've got copper, paraffinium, and salt. Well, I don't know what paraffinium is, but copper is a metal. And, of course, salt is salt. Looks like we're going to be touching down on the dark side of this planet. Let's see what we can see. Looks like it's kind of got a little bit of a dry riverbed here. That's cool looking. And then just past that, we've got some glowing plants and some kind of tropical looking trees and some some curved mineral formations that we just ran into with our ship. Let's not do that again. Bushes. Oh, this just looks so much better than the last place. Life seems to be doing pretty okay here. First contact with this planet. Alright, somewhere new. New planet discovered. Press escape to upload and rename. What's that? What is this? Sentinel drone. Okay. It wants us to find that coordinate that was broadcast to us, so we'll use this visor to find it. Kind of a little bit of a hot and cold thing. Let us know when we're on target. We're on target. You know, we're probably going to want to build up a little bit. We're not going to be following the tutorial exactly. as I may have mentioned before. The pacing of the tutorial is too slow for the first 30 minutes, and then after that, it kind of becomes too fast. At least when you're playing for pink slips, shall we say. You know, one death and it's all over. So we're going to take a little extra time on this planet because it's not hostile. As you can see, we don't have any bars in the lower left hand of our screen, which means we are not burning life support, we are not burning hazard protection. This is a relatively safe planet. I think we want to stay here for a little while, gather some resources, build up a little bit before we start pursuing all these strange cryptic messages that are undoubtedly going to lead us to places that are more dangerous than where we are right now. So we're going to take our time. We're going to scan all of these minerals and vegetables and any animals we happen to run across, because that will make our resource gathering more efficient. And I'll show you some pretty cool tricks once we've gotten pretty much everything that we can see scanned. Luckily, look at that. That looks like a really big wrecked ship. I think we should go check that out. As much as I want to follow this signal, I hate to keep you waiting, whoever you are, but I think we're going to focus on the long run here. We've got just about everything around here scanned, so we can start moving here pretty quick. Scan that animal. If you scan all of the animals on a planet, then you get a big nanite bonus paid to you. So we're going to scan any of them that we happen to see, and if we happen to be able to find all of them, that would be great. I think we have scanned everything that there is to scan here. So we're going to get moving again. Just going to do one more pass. That stuff's too far away. What is that? Sentient plant. Wow. We've got an unknown building. Hazardous flora. We're just going to steer clear of that. Knowledge stone. That's really close. I think let's check out whatever this knowledge stone is. I'm just going to highlight that so that we don't lose sight of it. We're going to grab that, and maybe we'll grab some of those vegetables over there. I don't know. On our way to that great big crashed ship. That looks kind of like a Venus flytrap, but one that's big enough to eat a bear. Oh, we got too close to it. We are going to take that apart. Okay. Let's see what this knowledge stone says. Memory of the Viking. Terponk, terponk, terponk. Yig, yig, yig. The stone resonates, producing a sound that fills my mind. The vision begins to take shape. I see two large aliens locked in combat. Eventually one triumphs, leaving their victim to bleed to death. With the last of their strength, the vanquished alien gestures toward me. I will accept that gesture. The name Viking floats in my vision, an echo of the strange vision I just experienced. A word in this alien tongue is seared into my brain. I've learned the Viking word for Viking. Wow, there's a bunch more of those stones over there. If you see up at the top of the screen on that compass, it looks like there's 4 more of those same thing off that direction. It's not exactly in the direction of that giant ship, but let's go up to the top of the hill over here and see if we can see them. I love all the little grass. That's great. Great big rock that we need an advanced mining laser to harvest. Ooh, that's fancy. That might even be more interesting than a giant ship. You know what? We're going to mark that. Drop a little pin on that so we don't forget where it is. I wonder, we're not in a situation where we need the sweet root to throw into our hazard protection. Our inventory is already half full. It's not immediately relevant to our survival. I think we're going to leave those vegetables for now. We've already seen 2 or 3 of them, so they can't be that rare. We are, however, going to grab this carbon because this is fuel for our mining laser, and we're probably going to be using that a fair amount in the near future. And what do we have over here? Some oxygen. You know, we could scan these plants. So I'm going to. It's not going to make them give us anything other than oxygen, but... Oh, speaking of plants we haven't scanned this one either. And there's some animals we haven't scanned. Anyway, don't worry, we won't be doing this on every planet we go to. It's really only worth it to do on a planet that you're planning on gathering a lot of resources on. It can help make sure that your resource gathering is as efficient and effective as possible. So that's why we're doing it. We might make this planet our temporary base of operations. Once we have all of these things scanned, I'm going to show you a cool trick. We've been gathering stuff with this laser. There are ways that are more efficient than that. It's kind of tricky. It's not something the game trains you or teaches you about. We are going to need more dihydrogen though. This, as you may recall, is the fuel for our launch thruster. We will eventually be lifting off of this planet. I hesitate to call it a rock. It's too pretty to call a rock. Look at that sunrise. We've got 2 stars. See that? 2 stars. Or maybe that's just a light flare from the one star. Yeah, that other one's moving way too much. If that's a star, I'm concerned about this place. All right. Pretty cool ship. Kind of a teal and black. I mean, it's a wreck ship, obviously, but I can see what looks like a distress beacon over there. We're going to go investigate that. Do we know this animal? We do know this animal. We don't know that rock. These rocks all look the same. Yep. When they're purple, they have not yet been scanned. When they are green, they are something that we have already scanned. We don't have to scan every single plant, just every plant of a given species, every rock of a given type. Once again, with the animals, one of every species. So, excuse me, pretty cool ship we've got here. What's this? We can call our Starship with one of these beacons, but we need navigation data, which we don't have. What do we have here? Wreck of the MS Anoya Hoga's Vision. Log extraction complete. What's it say? Life goes on, day after day. Delivery, I think I should say delivery after delivery. I hope to go home soon. The life of a is not for one like me. Multiple Sentinel energy signatures detected, requiring immediate... You remember that we saw a Sentinel drone earlier, so this might be telling us something about what those Sentinels are. Dropping out of warp, they're the Sentinels. What are they doing? Fighting each other. The Sentinel ships are engaging each other, ignoring us for now. The Sentinels appear to have departed. Their distress signal nearby, broadcasting 16 on repeat. And we had one of those. I'm going to take a look. Famous last words, apparently. Their ship went down after that. Captain's log. Oh, our life support's starting to go down. Oh, I guess it's just when we're walking. Or running or something. Interesting. Why is it going down some of the time and not all of the time? Maybe that's weird, because for a while walking wasn't taking any life support. Maybe I just didn't notice it. Anyway, this world is not very hostile, so our life support doesn't go down very fast. What do we have here? We have ship. Got some broken doors. Let's blow those doors open. Take a look inside. We have a big cargo box. It needs silicate powder to be repaired. Silicate is what sand is made out of, and dirt has lots of silicate in it. So what we need is a way to extract that from the dirt. Well, as it so happens, there is a way to do that. The tutorial would tell us. Looks like we might have to go through the tutorial to get access to that technology that's going to let us dig through the dirt. So this was fun to explore. We'll come back when we can get some silicate powder. We'll be able to salvage those cargo containers and see what's inside. But we're starting to get to about that time again, so that'll be something for next time. Now the sun's coming up, we can see our sun has come up, I guess. You see the beautiful sunrise pink in the middle of the day and this orange and red foliated hillside. Looks pretty cool. I like this planet. I'm going to be happy to call this home for a little while. We hope to see you again next time, and we'll explore some more. Have a great one, everybody. Goodbye now.